met very briefly at a movie that she was in that was so good earlier this summer.
Yeah.
So your new song is called Bad Idea. So it's obviously about a bad idea.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you, but I think it's probably about a bad idea.
Yeah.
So this is so cool. I love all the artistic stuff that you do.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I know. We were in Paris and we were feeling the fashion week energy, and so we had these bleached brows, which people are very, very mixed reviews on these bleached brows.
Yeah.
But
I think when you look like that, you can do anything you want. Yeah. So your single boyfriend became an anthem for LGBTQ plus community. All of us. I love the song. I thought it was so clever. Did you write that for you, really, or did you write that just because of a situation? Like, why was that in your head?
Yeah, honestly, it's funny. I wrote it based on a really kind of like rough experience that I had that I would never, like if you told me then that I was gonna write that song about that night, it's like so incongruous and kind of like very different energies. And I ended up with a sort of a perspective that I could sit with, right? Which is that like instead of facing the fact of like someone being a very harmful person in my life, it was I could be a better boyfriend than this situation that was going on that I was, you know, a part of or witnessing. And I really never thought I was gonna play it for anybody. I never thought anybody was gonna hear it. I was just like, I think this kind of smacks. So I was like, I play this.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
I literally, the first time I heard it,
Thanks.
I listened like 20 times in a row. I was like, this is a jam. I love it. It's so good.
Thank you.
How do you feel like it may have changed you? Do you feel like, because sometimes I feel like, one, it's important to write, and that's my vessel of like therapy almost, but then you get to perform it all the time.
Right.
And then it like carries that place with you. That can be hard. Do you keep that, or do you change and you grow after that?
Well,
sometimes it's hard to re-sing something. You're like, ugh.
No, and I would imagine as well. You know, a lot of your music is you're very emotive.
Sad.
You know, it's very story-based, right? Narrative. I definitely find specifically with Boyfriend, because it was such a huge part of me finding my own identity and embracing my queerness, and it like makes me emotional every time I talk about it. But it was such a key to a gate for me into stepping into myself wholly in a way that I never knew if I was going to be privileged enough to find those pieces of myself and exist as that person, right? Because that's like the fear. The fear is that you exist as yourself wholly and the world cracks open and everything ends and all the lights go out. And when the song came out and when I saw that people were emotionally connecting to it, I think I was really panicked for some reason just because I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. And then over time, it was like it melded into this gorgeous, like, something meaningful for me being something meaningful for others. I'm sure you've had that before.
Yeah.
It becomes this, like, especially when it's something about, you know, identity and queerness and how people view themselves.
Something so personal and intimate.
And finding empowerment in it when it's something that, you know, can sometimes feel very heavy to carry alone, identity. Yeah. And I found it incredibly special and meaningful, and such a surprise, such a beautiful surprise.
Yeah, I like taking any kind of negative and making a positive out of it. Yeah. And possibly making some money off that too. So, I mean, you're a writer as well. You get that too, like in the sense of like relating to them and connecting to them in that way.
I think with writing for, like, particularly the cast of College Girls, they're so funny and they're so great, and you get to rewrite the narrative. Like, I get to write these 4 girls and show how they relate and how they get over their issues but can come together even though they're so different. Like, they're like socioeconomically different, like racially different, and that you can make it so that it's like harmonious and they're friends. And I think sometimes when you create those things, then you allow other people to see them and be like, oh, that is possible, right?
Totally.
And they're so talented, these 4 actresses, and like I learned so much from them. I know sometimes we're conditioned as writers to think about people who are older than us who came before us and say like, hey, they inspire me, but I really am inspired by the young women that I work with, you know, every day, and it makes me a better writer.
I know, I feel like a lot of people will, and I'm 40, I don't know how you're older, I'm not gonna ask you, but I just mean like, I feel like in my generation, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, the young generation is so apathetic, or I'm worried about it or whatever, and I'm like, I actually, having this show specifically, like, I've seen so many young people, like they're more, I mean, I don't know, I feel like they're advocates, like far more than I was at their age, like when they come on here.
Compassion
And they
on 100.
more empathy, more, it's just it's a different kind of generation, and it's actually, I think, hopeful, like for the people that I encounter that are a different generation to me, that are younger.
I feel like went into it being like, I don't want to be one of those older people that's always complaining about the younger people. And I find myself doing that a lot, you know? Because it's just nature, like you just get annoyed at people, you think it was easier for them or whatever. But one thing that is undeniable about at least the young women I work with and see is how they're unafraid to be activists. When I was coming up, I was like, I don't want anyone to think I'm like so political or self-confident or think I demand rights and all this privilege, you know?
Oh, I got grown from the South.
And so, and now to see, and now to see young women who are like unafraid to do that, especially in Hollywood, it's like it's very refreshing. But then also, you know, makes you think like, oh, I could have done a better job when I was younger. So
I know, but you know what it is though? Like what you said, that's what's so cool is that you're setting this up for even this generation to because these are applicable scenes to these people in their lives. Like you just said, you're bringing people together that maybe wouldn't normally be brought together, especially on TV, but maybe even in life still. And then maybe there's people in college going, that's kind of like my group, or like this could be my group. I want to find that group. I love how writing and creativity and art can do that.
I mean, there's nothing I feel like more influential than storytelling in like any form, right? It's like, you know, songwriting, TV, film, like there was nothing that I learned more from than those mediums, which is why I think we're all here. So, you know.
They're powerful.
Common
well, we have a
ground.
surprise for you.
You have a surprise for
Yes,
me?
we do.
What does that mean?
In honor of over 1 million records sold, man, we're excited to present you with the RIAA Platinum Certification for your hit single, Boyfriend.
Oh my God!
I was so excited when we found out you were getting it. I was like, I want to give it to her. Dove's latest single is called Bad Idea, and it's available wherever you get your music. Check it out, y'all.